Good morning, everybody. What's going on? If you want to change the world, start with yourself. That's a great quote by Gandhi, and I'm sure a lot of other super smart people have said it throughout the time. I've seen it in my own journey for sure. So when I first started wanting to get healthier and change my bad habits, the smoking, the weed, the addiction, and I had a lot of depression and hardcore mental health issues underneath. I'd been to the 5150 facility. After I quit those habits, I gained a bunch of weight too. I got up to like 280 pounds. I was a really big dude. So I did a bunch of healthy stuff, started exercising, quit my habits. It was a time where I was experimenting with psychedelics. And if you've ever worked with psychedelics, you know how they can really want you to start to refresh your thinking, refresh your habits, integrate some new perspectives on life. So I was doing that. And I felt so good. I felt so amazing. I'll tell you what, people, you might have experienced the same thing. And I just want to tell the world about it. So people didn't really take to that very well. I'm sure you've seen this. It's the whole the Bible thumper effect. You know, people, if they're in their own little habits, they don't want to hear about you feeling good. They want to, kind of put the blinders on. So I just learned really quickly that I had a better impact when I just focus all that energy about other people. And of course, we want the planet to heal and the people that we love. That's a nice thought, right? But it just doesn't work that way. There's a better way to do it. That's what I'm trying to say. So one strong exercise that I came up with the help of psychedelics, are the integration pillars. And what they are is a process that I do in my journal and just in my thinking about getting my mindset on board with my new habits. Because a lot of times we have these goals, right? I want to get healthy, I want to overcome my negative thinking, but these blocks come in our way. We just stumble and it's hard to integrate. So the integration pillars help solidify and help us move into our goals in an easier way that makes more sense. So I combine the integration pillars with something that's already been around called parts work. And one pillar I'll share with you today is the long-term pillar versus the short-term pillar. We live in a world of duality, hot, cold, black, white, yin-yang, opposites. So long-term versus short-term. Some of our thinking is short-term based. Our habits, like eating sugar and junk food versus exercising. And exercise is an investment. Investing money is an investment in the future. And our mindset can stop us sometimes from getting on track with those goals that we want to do. So if you write in your journal a little bit every morning, like I do, it's really helpful because you have your goals and you can see where your mind takes you, and you'll learn about your own patterns after a while. Whoa, why do I keep faltering? Why do I keep going back to the cake and ice cream? Why do I go back to negative thinking and doom and gloom about the world? It's just a habit, so you have to give yourself new habits. These pillars help you see through it. And using parts work alongside a pillar like the long-term versus short-term pillars, we recognize that we have a part of us that is attached to cake or something for comfort, or attached to the anger. We have a part of us that also wants to eat healthier, but the other part of us is more dominant sometimes. The part that wants to be angry, the part that wants to eat the cake, or certain things could trigger certain parts. Like, oh, I just got off of a stressful day at work, and stress, oh, that's the best friend of short-term habits, right? Sugar, junk food, cigarettes, weed, and so on. So adding in these long-term habits will help drown out the short-term rush dopamine hit type of habits. And you got to have fun with this and not be hard on yourself. Be patient, be graceful. It's not easy, and there's slips and falls, peaks and valleys to the journey, and you could just think of it all as data. Learn from it. My life and my habits have gotten better and better over the years, but there's little peaks and valleys to it, kind of like the stock market and the weather. But as long as you stay committed, you stay focused, don't give up. Commitment will carry you through those hard times. Use those times where you slip into the short-term habits and thinking as just data. Learn from it. What were you feeling around that time? What kind of people were you around that brought those feelings up inside of you? What were your perspectives at that time? So really, really key. There's some other pillars that I use as well, a long list of them. We'll get into those another time. But long-term versus short-term, that's just a very important one. Let the part of you that wants to be happy in the long run, healthy in the long run, out, speak, talk to those parts, have a conversation between those parts on the table. Hey, short-term thinking self, I understand your stress, I understand you're worried, but we'll soothe those feelings better actually by sticking to our goals, being healthier. And you got to talk yourself through this. I didn't have anybody to talk to about these type of things. I couldn't afford a therapist when I was in my rock bottom at all. I couldn't barely afford to live. So I had to become my own therapist and my own best friend. And just, it gets more natural with time. That's what I'm also trying to say is this stuff's kind of hard in the beginning and uncomfortable, but just dedicate a couple minutes to it a day and then expand 5 minutes, 10 minutes later on. And when you start seeing results, you're going to really like it. And you'll notice that strong long-term thinking carry you through the hard times when you get tempted and tested. It just takes building up rhythm and momentum. You can't just do it once or twice, just like eating healthy. You can't just do it once or twice and expect results. So, but it's worth it. You'll feel better, and that's always worth it because we're doing everything in life as a means to feel better, right? So take care, everybody. Stay strong. Stay healthy. Peace.